Hey, what's going on? So, in recent years, there have been a plethora of true wireless earbuds out there, and it can be tough to choose the right pair. I get it. And some people shoot straight for those top name brands without even really testing them out to see what they're really looking for as far as overall sound quality. Well, if you're like me, you like spending a little bit of time, researching under the radar brands that aren't as popular, but deliver what I'm looking for in true wireless buds. Good deals are out there, you just have to do some digging. I read some good reviews on one, and I landed on the Tozo NC9, and wow, these deliver the goods. Okay, so before I start, I need to preface this review by saying I am by no means an audiophile, so I don't listen to the anatomy of a song and pick apart which sound elements are missing or has too much of. My preference is more about how punchy the bass is in relationship to, good mids and highs. I'm a hip hop guy and EDM, that's kind of what I listen to, so I love that thick, juicy bass where it counts, but I do want that treble to be present as well. I'll be referring to the Apple Airpods Pro quite a bit since they're a huge name in the industry and they're kind of the gold standard when it comes to microphone quality. They're also known for amazing ANC, or active noise cancellation if you don't know. I also use them daily, so I figured I'd put them up against an underdog name like Tozo and see how they compare. So I bought these on Amazon for $66. Now, I want you to keep that in mind as I go through this review. Let's talk about cons first. It's not a deal breaker for me, but it's worth noting that this specific model doesn't include wireless charging, but I know that Tozo offers a T10 model, which does. Also, for iOS users, unlike AirPods and Beats, they don't announce incoming text messages. Next thing is when you remove one earbud, it doesn't automatically pause your music and resume it when you put it back in, like AirPods do. Another thing to mention, just from a build quality standpoint, is the case kind of feels cheap and plasticky, so it doesn't really have weight. It doesn't really feel like there's substance there. But it does have a magnetic close feature, so it's not going to be flapping around if it's turned upside down for any reason. Again, none of these are really deal breakers for me. But for those minuscule sacrifices, you're getting a lot. Okay, so specs. Bluetooth 5.0, 8 hours on a single charge, 24 in a charging case, IPX6 waterproof, ANC and transparency modes, and even USB Type-C charging. Now, that's a nice touch. Along with that, initial pairing is actually pretty quick. Simply open up the case, head over to your settings, then Bluetooth, and it should show up in those list of connectable devices. And it also has fast auto connect, so that means once I opened up the case, it connects to that device immediately. There's a small asterisk to that though. With AirPods, you can connect to any device and it'll disconnect it from a different device you were using it on prior. With the NC9, you need to make sure that you disconnect it from the previous device you were last connected to before you connect it to the device that you're about to use. Now, it sounds like a lot, but it's not that big a deal. I had to mention it. And as far as battery life, it holds power for a full workday, no issues. The touch controls surprised me actually, and it's pretty adaptable and it becomes second nature after a few uses. It's got the volume up and down, which SatFace AirPods Pro do not offer. Voice Assistant works well. Skip and previous track controls are easy to use, and it's got your standard drop and answer call features. Here we go, sound quality. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. These sound better overall than AirPods Pro. Now, again, don't forget the price I mentioned earlier. AirPods are $250 and these are $66. So just let that sink in. Cool? Cool. As I mentioned earlier, I listen to a lot of hip hop, especially when I work out. And speaking of working out, these include 6 different silicone tips for all different kinds of ear types. I found the one that I needed, snapped them on, it sounded nice, and put them in and they were super snug and they work great, especially when jumping around and doing any kind of HIIT exercises. Now, when it comes to long-term wear though, I do feel that it's in my ear canal pretty tight, so you might experience some fatigue, but that could just be me using the wrong size ear tips. For the AirPods though, they definitely don't feel like they're jammed into your ears, but I also don't feel like they're gonna fall out of my ears either. It's just something to think about. Believe it or not, transparency and ANC modes work pretty good here. Also, call quality is great. Callers on the other end said I was pretty clear and not muffled, and I didn't have any breaking or any drop calls with it. Look, at this price point, there's really not much to complain about. They're absolutely worth the price, and they sound more expensive than they are. So if you're on a budget and you really want good sound for less and that have more bass than AirPods Pro, I'd take a chance on the Tozo NC9s. Well, that's been my 2-week review with these, and if you're interested, I'll link it down below so you can take a look at it for yourself. Thanks for watching, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.